This is my Health 453 annual program, part 1. Who's the program designed for? This program is designed for a 16-year-old tennis player who is training to play Division I college tennis. She is a white female. How often is competition? My athlete competes 3 weekends out of every month. The 4th weekend can be used for rest and recuperation or extra practice if needed. She competes against other 16-year-old girls in her age bracket. She competes at tennis tournaments throughout the southern United States. Her training will be Monday through Thursday for 3 hours a day. During these sessions, training will include dynamic stretches before practice starts, running before training begins, half a mile would be perfect, serving practice, 300 balls, forehand and backhand technique, practicing shot placement, practicing how to hit top spin shots, down the line, cross court, flat, just, training for whatever whatever she needs to do for that next tournament. Volleys and overheads for technique, same thing. Shot placement, setting up strategy, and tactics for her match play as well. Practicing whatever she just practiced, forehand and backhand volleys and overheads, putting it into play with match play. And then a cool down run, half a mile again. Muscle actions and movement involved. Shoulders, upper arms, and chest. Strong pectorals and deltoids are prevalent for tennis players. And also working on rotator cuff and upper back. Doing rows would really help for this because usually if you have the stronger pectoral muscles and deltoids, then your rotator cuff is weak. And you want that to be strong as well. So it needs a little bit extra work. Core strength is very vital. If you have a strong core, you are a good player. If your core is weak, you're more likely to make errors and your game is not going to be where it needs to be. So abs and lower back are key for serving and forehand. So you want to strengthen those. Glutes, quads, and hamstrings. Glutes are needed for the side-to-side movement that you will use the whole time you are playing a tennis match. Quads and hamstrings are necessary for power movement and strong ground strokes. Physiological and biomechanical challenges. Balance is necessary for agility, speed, and muscular endurance. She must be able to make split-second decisions for movement and shot placement during a match. You really have to be keen on making these decisions, knowing what your strategy is to compete and how you're going to win, and also picking up on the opponent's strategy and game plan as well. You usually want to try to figure it out by at least the first game of the first set. You want to see what their strengths and weaknesses are and really play to their weakness. So you really have to be keen on, watching your opponent, figuring out what their game is. She must be able to overcome not only the physical adversities, but the mental aspect of the game as well. Just like any sport, it can be very mental when you're playing tennis, especially because you don't have a coach to give you plays or tell you what you need to do if you're not seeing where you're making the error or how to fix your error. Your coach is not allowed to speak with you until you switch over for your second set or if you split sets. So it's an independent game. You're figuring it out all on your own, and it can get very mental. And being able to acclimate to hot or cold external temperatures is also essential for the highest potential play. So, for example, if she has to play a tournament in the cold area that weekend, it would be very necessary and important to acclimate that week before to that cold environment, just for her own safety and also for the highest play level that she can bring to the table. Injury risk. If hip flexibility is limited, she is also at risk of having abdominal strains. If shoulder flexibility is limited, she is more likely to experience shoulder pain. You are using your shoulders constantly, especially with the serving motion and the forehand motion. Your dominant hand is the hand that you are using for both forehand and serve. So that's why it's really key to make sure that your shoulders are strong and all the different parts to those muscle groups are as well. Just because that one arm is getting a lot of use throughout the whole match. Stress fractures are very common in the tibia, especially if she would play on a hard court surface and practice on a hard court surface, and if she's running a lot on a hard court surface as well. And as a female, she is at risk of an ACL tear by 48 times higher than a male.